coming back for part 2. I will just continue straight. I was saying people who doesn't see what is wrong with them, then there's a problem. There's a huge problem. Okay, now let's put it aside. Let's go back to the world order. But before I end this, I will say thank you to all the Pan-Africanists who are fighting, who are on the front line for our unity. And I will ask the leaders, African leaders, to work hard to help us to learn about our history. Because once all of us will know our history, we will understand that we come from one place. We come from one village, which is Africa. And if you put it in your mind that we are from the same village, which called Africa, then you will not bother yourself to call your own brothers and sisters a foreigner. Actually, in my opinion, a black African foreigner doesn't exist in Africa. This is our land. Like they always say, if it wasn't for the European people with their conference in Berlin, or you can call it Berlin, to divide us with borders, we wouldn't be in this position. But the faster we will understand this, is the quicker we're going to unite ourselves. When people are united, no one can come and break that unity. Because unity is a bond. A bond is something you cannot just break easily. The world is changing. The world is moving so fast. We are the only African nation who are left behind. When are we going to understand that? Are we always gonna be people from a lesser God? What is it on us always make us left behind? So let's start questioning our heart. Please, my brother, stop this nonsense of Dudula. We are already suffering in other countries in Europe. We have been mistreated, dishonored, disgraced, disregarded, and rejected. Please, do not do this in our own land. Where will we go if you start pushing us like this? How far you want to push us? Think twice and stop this. Remember, nobody knows tomorrow. Don't put our color in shame. People, enemies, they are watching us. You know what I mean. They are watching us. They're observing how we live amongst each other, how we treat each other, how we behave with each other, how we welcome each other. If you look at in Africa, there's not many countries in Africa who behave like this, who react like this with their own people. I'm not saying it doesn't exist because I don't know, but there's not much countries. Make a difference. Africa is a land of love, unity, prosperity. We should not make it a land of hell and war. Respect starts from ourselves. The moment we start to respect ourselves, then people will respect us. It must be okay for you what you're doing, but remember, they are watching us. Enemies are watching us. You don't have to be educated. Be wise to understand what I'm saying. I would love one day to meet you and shake my hands. Shake your hands and tell you, please, my brother, don't do it. There's another way to deal with issue in the family. Remember, enemies are watching us. This is what they want to see from us. When they are pushing their agenda of the world order, this is what they are expecting to happen in Africa, so they can push it easily. Sometimes we need to watch the world news to understand other people's opinions and mind. If we do not watch them, we cannot understand what they think or what they are planning to do on us. I will call also our brothers in America, African American, that always to be united. Stand for your brother and sister. Stand for your woman. Fight for them. Fight for the children. Don't let people harm them. That's how we're going to have our respect and dignity. By starting doing that, they will start to recognize us. They see us too small, too little. So, amongst us, let's not do that. As I said, this is your brother, Rudolph King. You know, all my life I never dreamed of going in overseas, which is America or Europe to go and stay there. It can happen for me to visit, but to stay there, I don't think so, because I don't see anything for me there. I don't see anything for me there. Africa is my land. It's my home, it's my village. This is where I belong. Now, let's go back to the Ukrainian war. Brothers and sisters, learn from what is happening. This is a history we're living. We're making a history now. It's happening. You know, sometimes we look at ourselves down. We think that we are less human than others. But this is proving to us that we are more wise than others. No insult, but look at what is happening. Russia is fighting for his dignity and his territory and his respect. They always, European and American, always break the agreement. I don't see any country where America went and left without making trouble, without leaving trouble. Their friendship always ends up by destruction. Their help always destroy people. Why is it always like that? Why is it always like that? And today, even Europe, we used to think that they are so-called genius. They have failed their people. How can you insult and fight with someone who's feeding you? Like I said before, when you are too proud, you will never see what is wrong with you. And when you don't see what is wrong with you, your misery starts there. Today, petrol crisis, the price is going higher. The food in Europe is going 2 times the price. Once again, their friend America has misled them. You know, European leaders, you should think of your people. You're taking decisions without looking at the middle class and the poor class. You're taking decisions for yourself because you can afford. You have free accommodation, free ride, free, everything is free for you. Plus, you get paid. The state feed you, the state pay you, the state accommodate you, and the state give you transport and blue light. You even have a open passport, travel anywhere. A private jet, everywhere. What is so evil to take this good decision for your people? Look at Europe today. Not even 3 months. Look at the crisis of gas, oil, food. How long are you going to starve your people? Remember, if you don't take the right decision, hungry people will turn up against you. Think twice. America is far. It's not affecting America. America is a continent. He's got his own world. But look at what is happening in Europe. In few weeks, look, even the president of Ukraine, you have to think again. You arm the civilians, children, adults, age of 15 to 60, to fight for your fight. That is being heartless. Look at the whole nation is going everywhere. It does not teach you something. Think twice. At the end of the day, it's your country who's being destroyed, not other countries. It's not making you a hero. After the war, this war, people will gain conscience. They will ask themselves if the decision you took with your government is a good decision. You have to understand that. You're not leading yourself, you're leading a nation. People have prepared their retirement. Today is gone because of your decision with your government. Something you could have agreed easily. Even if you have to take your life for the sake of your people. That's what the leader does. A leader can sacrifice his life for his people to live good, to live well. Today it's difficult to find hero in leadership because many of them will vote. They come to the power for their own sake, not for the people. That's why this world is going in this way. Germany, you have to think. You have gone through a lot. You have gone through a lot. This is not the time for you to starve your people. French people, you have to think. You are a country with not a lot of resource except water. You have to think. When you're joining forces with America, look at what America is. Take the example from what he has done with all the friendship he has made with other countries. America look for his own interest and his people. You European, you have to look at your own interest and the interest of your people. Friendship doesn't mean that you have to make your own people to suffer because of a friend. It's like a father parents in the house decide to choose their friend and their own children. That's what you are doing. Look at China. After all the suffering for decades, look where they achieved themselves. Look at Russia. Russia in Europe there's no country have suffered a lot compared to Russians people. Soviet Union, those people have suffered a lot. They push themselves over the limit to build themselves. Want it or not, Russia is part of Europe. You cannot destroy your own continent because of another continent. You should think twice. England, Prime Minister, think twice about your continent. What is wrong to go back and set up again this relation politically? This is what all politicians they do. They fight, they reconcile themselves. They fight every time, they reconcile themselves. Don't be too proud. It's a small people who are suffering. When they will had enough, they will turn against you. So you have to think of that. Because even the army, those soldiers, they've got parents, they've got relatives. If today people turn against the government, if their parents, their children are in those mass, they will not shoot them. Remember, there are some countries where the army turned against the government and took over. Don't let that happen in Europe, because your intelligence is pushing you over the limit. Europe was a country, a continent where we believe as African people had a good life and decent living. But today is not what we see. So we're thinking twice about your democracy. Is it that what you call democracy? Taking your own decision without looking after your people? Without thinking how it's going to affect your people? Being too proud and arrogant? Is that how you lead your people? Think twice. Take the right decision. The issue is about